Ma, I think they made a mistake. They gave me a microphone. How's everybody doing? Cool. I'm going to be quick. I'm going to hopefully share one thing with you guys, and that's my goal, to come out of this sharing one thing with you guys, change your mindset just a little bit. That's going to help you in every facet of your life with a set of principles that I created. I've done some pretty cool things, built a big market center, helped a lot of organizations, indie brokers, big brokers, have some breakthroughs, and I work on changing the mindset just a little bit, the big failure point in our industry. I know it's a negative thing to talk about. It's all in this book. It's a pretty cool book. Somebody I know wrote it, me. There's a big failure point in our industry, and the only way that we can fix and move forward is understanding the failure points, the pitfalls, and overcoming those. So I'd like to present to you right now the reality of our business, of our industry, which is it's estimated that 80 to 87% of agents fail. It's horrible. But the SBA also says that 4 out of 5 small businesses fail in the first 5 years, so it kind of aligns with the same thing. So I just have to ask, do I have your attention? And are you awake? And are you ready for the transition that will help you change your business and your life and everything else? The top 2 reasons agents fail, the top 2 reasons businesses fail, is lack of business management experience and lack of financial literacy and discipline. Now let me take that last statement. How many times have you or witnessed an agent get their commission check, their big fat $10,000 commission check? The broker was nice, already took their portion out. And next thing you know, they're pulling up with a new pair of shoes, new suit, maybe some new Prada, whatever, new BMW. But at the end of the year, they're panicking because they didn't pay their taxes. IRS is never gonna forget about you. That's financial discipline. That money that we're all making, it ain't all ours. We have to account for business expenses. We have to account for the IRS. That's where agents fail. About 50 to 52% of that dollar that we're making is ours. We got other things we must pay. Most people never ran a business. That's another failure point. They follow antiquated industry theory. You get your license, you get into the business, and everybody's like, go talk to your friends, go talk to your family, go sell, sell, sell. It's all the same thing, but things are changing. The people on this stage are all a lot of technology going on. You're going to hear from some other people today about technology. So if we don't start to change and have that new age theory, then we're going to miss the boat. There is a place for the antiquated, quote unquote, theory, but you have to evolve as well. So many people, we heard from people yesterday, we hear from people today. I was at dinner last night with about 12 amazing people. It wasn't an accident. That journey started in 2001 when I got into this business. So the fact that I've built these businesses and aligned myself with the energy allowed me to be at that exact dinner last night. But most people have a limiting mindset. That's why they never achieve these big successes. Everybody at that table was ultra successful. How did we get to that point? Because they believed and they had a vision. There was nothing. They worked on their mindset every single day. They expanded their mind every single day. Every woken moment was intentional and deliberate. What is the solution? How are we going to fix this? How are we going to fix your businesses? How are we going to get to that next level? We need to run our businesses. We need to run our lives like a business. We need to change our mindset and continually get educated. We need to focus. This is where a big change is going to come from. We need to change our mind and what we're focusing on from the macro to the micro. And what I mean about that, if I say I want to make $1 million, and everybody in this room is capable of making $1 million, that's a big number. Big number to wrap your head around for most people. Most people would say, oh, I can't do $1 million. That's a lot of money. But it's a simple mathematical equation. Whether you want to make $100,000, you want to make $1 million, it's a mathematical equation. All you have to do is 10x it. So if to make $100,000, you need to have 15 conversations every single day about real estate. If you're a broker or recruiter, you need to have 10 conversations or 20 conversations per week to reach your recruiting goals. It's a simple mathematical number. So now if you want to make $1 million, you have to have 50 conversations per day. Now we just focus on having 50 conversations per day. That's it. We're not worried about the $1 million. The $1 million is going to happen. If you focus on the $1 million, the $1 million is going to elude you. You focus on the daily tasks at hand. If you're an agent and you need to make, it breaks down inside the book and the kits that we have, it breaks this down for you, the math down for you. If you need to make 2 unique and qualified appointments per week to hit your goal, maybe it's 3, maybe it's 4, maybe it's 5, everybody's different, but it's mathematics and it doesn't lie, then your only goal all week long is to get those appointments, nothing else. You cut out all distraction until you get to that point. So the moment that we stop focusing on the macro and start focusing on the micro, the daily wins, things happen, things will change. Michael Gerber wrote the best book ever. I think everybody in the world should read Michael Gerber, The E-Myth. He breaks business down into 3 unique levels: the entrepreneur, the manager, and the technician. Most people, we execute at the technician level because that's what we know. So I created a set of principles called UPAD, and the moment that we started to teach these is the moment that people started to have great breakthroughs, clarity, and understanding. Now, UPAD stands for understanding or understand. No matter what you're doing, no matter whether it's you want to invest in cryptocurrency, no matter whether you want to make $1 million in real estate, no matter whether you want to start a business, you have to understand what it is that you want to achieve. And that comes with clarity, that comes with research, that comes in really digging deep into what it is you want to accomplish. Then it simply comes down to a plan. It all comes down to a plan. What is needed? What is the marketing strategy? What is the customer acquisition strategy? How are we going to do X, Y, and Z? And then simply all you have to do is take that plan and put it into action. That's where the technician lives. Now you're doing the action. I need to do X amount of appointments per week. I need to do X amount of phone calls per day. You do the work. And the hardest one of all is the dirty little D word, discipline, doing the work. But when you can understand, plan, action, and have the discipline to do the work every single day, it creates accountability to the management level of your own business. That is where we fail. That is why we fail in this business. We don't have that accountability. We don't have that connection back to the management level. And the moment that connection happens, growth happens, big growth. So when we look at it on this right here, we can see that the entrepreneur, and every person, I don't care if you're a single agent, you're an entrepreneur. You have your own little ecosystem you're running. I don't care if you're an independent broker with 500 agents. You're an entrepreneur. You're running this ecosystem. You have to be conscious of everything in your organization. The needs of the organization, the health of the organization. The manager is responsible for understanding and planning. So now we're starting to break it down. You must execute as a technician. You must execute as a manager. You must execute as an entrepreneur. It's the only way to truly thrive. Your manager is now understanding and planning what the big overall vision is. And then the technician is putting the plan into action and having the discipline. Does that make sense? Is that a kind of a different way to look at things? So the entrepreneur simply says, he pops up in the top right-hand corner, 200,000. Entrepreneur says, I want to make $200,000 a year. Okay, we understand that now. So the manager says, okay, if my average commission is $5,000, I need to do 40 transactional sides, which breaks down to roughly 77 unique and qualified appointments per year, which is 1.47 unique and qualified first appointment only per week, which means I need to have 3,200 conversations per year or 12.3 conversations per day. Boom, you're done. Now you just have to have 12.3 conversations per day and track it. Because you need to know if you only had 10 today that you're minus 2.3, but if you had 14, you're above. So you need to make sure that you're always staying at par, just like in golf. They call them gaps. You want to make sure that you don't have any negative gaps. And if you have any negative gaps, you need to be able to close those up. So if we look at that, it creates, by doing the activities, by tracking the activities, it creates that accountability back to the management level. So in the middle of the year when you're not hitting your goals, you can actually say why and take a look at it. Otherwise, you just sit there and scratch and say, screw it, let's go for a martini, which happens all too often. Creating accountability is super important. How do we create accountability? How do you know where you are? As simple as a spreadsheet. This is the system that I created, more GCI. There's other systems out there. They're evolving. But even just a simple spreadsheet to know what you're doing. Some CRMs are getting a little bit more advanced. You need to know, if I want to make X amount of money, I need to do X activity. And there's 365 days in the year. Am I doing those activities? Am I on par for those activities? What if you get sick? What if you go on vacation? What if you get super busy? You need to know that you didn't make those numbers for that week, and then spread that out for a period of time. Maybe it's a month to make up. If you're down 5 appointments, you need to know I need to make up 5 appointments over the next month or 2 months so you can turn it on. And as you're staying at that negative or that, that par, that zero number, you're going to hit your numbers, focusing on the micro and not the macro. So where does success happen? You got to have a vision. I mean, if you don't have a vision, you're just running around on a hamster wheel, right? No clear definition. You get on Route 95 and you're going to go to dinner. I mean, that's the best way to explain lack of vision. You get on Route 95 and you're going to dinner. There's a whole lot of missing information going on there. Where are you going to dinner? You're going north, you're going south. I mean, what exit do you got to get off of? That's what vision is. So now with your vision, you can understand, oh, okay, I got to get off at exit whatever, because we're going to take Route 1 to whatever. And so you make a plan. You understand it, you make a plan. Now you're putting it into action. You're driving down the highway. You're getting off of the exit. You're getting onto the next road you need to do. And you have discipline to stop for the light so you don't get into an accident. Now all of a sudden you're at your restaurant. That's how you build accountability. It sounds silly, but it is that simple. Accountability reduces failure rate. Accountability reduces failure rate. It can't be debated, because if there's accountability, then everybody inside of the organization, and each of you are everybody, okay? You are the entrepreneur, the manager, and the technician. Everybody's held accountable. And when everybody's held accountable, you can adjust if you need to adjust. You can change the course if you need to change the course. But if something is not happening, something needs to, or someone needs to be held accountable. Again, it's almost science, it's mathematics. If you are doing the work that is required, you're going to have the results. If the results are not there, you can look at the numbers and pinpoint it and say, we didn't make our phone calls. We're down on our number of appointments. That's what you owe yourself as the manager looking at your own business to hold you accountable. A lot of people, when we get into this gig, I'm just going to go off script for a second. A lot of people, when we get into this gig, we're coming from a salaried position. We are born and programmed with an employee mindset. We go to work, we punch a clock. We do a predetermined set of tasks that somebody else has created for us. We punch out. We do that 5 times, we get a paycheck. That's how people are programmed. Now, newsflash, you're in charge of making those tasks. You're now in charge of making sure those tasks get done too. If you're not doing them, who is? Because they got to get done. So you have nobody to blame. So you might as well have that accountability to get those tasks done. We got to change our programming just a little bit and start thinking about our lives as a CEO, okay? Our businesses as a CEO. You need to run your business like a CEO. Whether you're an individual agent or whether you are running an enterprise, you got to run it the same. You've got to have the management staff involved. You've got to have the vision involved. You've got to have the people involved that you can hold accountable. What's your name? Maria. So if Maria worked for me and I said, Maria, I hired you as my web person. You're going to handle all of the web leads, and you're going to making sure that the marketing's happening and everything else like that. And I go on vacation, or I go over here doing my job over here, making sure that I'm doing all this other stuff. And we have no leads, web-based leads, and my website's down, and nothing's working. Ultimately, it's my responsibility, but I handed the responsibility off to Maria. So now I can go to Maria and say, Maria, what's happening? What's going on with our web leads? What do you need? What tools do you need? What's the holdup? Do you need more money? Do we need a bigger budget? What do we need to change? But I need somebody to hold her accountable. She can't now then say, oh, well, ho-hum, I don't know. The system doesn't work. Well, the system works for 10,000 other people. Why is it not working for us? So now I have somebody that I can go back to and say, and hold accountable and say, Maria, what do we got to do? Maybe Maria might not be the best fit. Maybe we need to get somebody else. I don't know. But it at least gives me somebody that I can go back to. It gives me that accountability. The moment that we have accountability to the people in our organizations, maybe we are everybody, is the moment that we are going to reduce all those negative gaps. And accountability wins. Now, I created the GCI Academy after I created the More GCI software because there was a need for a different type of training out there because everybody teaches seemingly the same thing. I focus on business management. I focus on financial literacy. I also created a thing called the lead gen quadrant so you can understand that your leads really truly only come from 4 unique places: some form of phone call, some form of networking, some form of online, or some form of traditional activity like door knocking, just listed, just sold postcards. Where else can they originate from? One of those 4 places. So we really get deep into that. This book right here this is launched, the 8-week course. It contains everything people need to do to start in the business and everything that you need to do to have a breakthrough in the business. I have a whole bunch of kits out there. Come see me because I don't want to put them on a plane. I'll give you a special deal. They also have some other books in there that are going to help you have a breakthrough. So come see me. If you need a breakthrough, if you have agents and you need some form of training from them, they get this really cool kit. Christmas is coming, right? Think about it. Christmas is a couple months away. Give yourself a Christmas present. Give them a Christmas present. Anyways, I just want to leave you with this. Do we have any Spanish speakers in the room? All right. November 4th, we are launching the Spanish training. So all of our work has been translated, and Armando Rodriguez is my Spanish trainer. He is going to be heading up that. He's in the process of recording videos right now. I tried to do the videos, but all I did was kept ordering food and swearing at you, so I wasn't the right fit. But Armando, fantastic guy. We're going to be launching the courses, armandotrains.com. We're going to let him run with that. I want to leave you with this one thing. Everything in life is possible at mammoth levels, at amazing levels. You just follow the UPAD principles in everything that you do. You understand, you first seek to understand, you make a plan, you put it into action, and you have the discipline. I don't care if you're trying to lose 20, 30, 40 pounds, quit smoking, run a marathon, whatever it is, you gotta have the discipline to do the work. If you're a professional sports athlete, you're waking up early, you're eating right, you're doing your workouts, you're putting in the work. That's what discipline is. It's doing what you don't want to do, so eventually you can do only the things that you want to do. Anyways, y'all, my name's Johnny Moe. I appreciate y'all being here and hanging in there. And I want to thank all of you for sticking through the heat and coming in here and listening to all of us It says something about you that you're all winners, and my hat goes off to every one of you. Thank you. And I might rap if this thing's still on.